Hello and welcome to the ADHD Guru podcast. My name is Jonathan Carroll. I am an ADHD and executive functioning coach. For more information on me, you can visit my website at adhdguru.com. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. You can send me an email to Jonathan, that's Jonathan at adhdefcoach.com. You can follow me on YouTube and Twitter at ADHD Guru. Maybe you're watching this video on YouTube. As I've decided to also put a video version of my podcast on there and some other helpful videos as well. You can find me on Facebook at ADHDEF Coach and ADHD and Executive Functioning Coach. Perhaps you are listening to this podcast through the iTunes Store, Google Play Store, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio. Thank you. And if you can leave me some feedback, it would be appreciated. Positive feedback is always good. Constructive feedback is helpful. Any show ideas that you have, I'm happy to discuss. I want to make this as interactive as possible. So this podcast, I'm actually releasing a little bit out of order because a really interesting study just came out, and I thought I would mention this to people because I think it's very fascinating. It's from the Lancet Psychiatry. Did a study of brain structures in people with ADHD and without ADHD and found some very interesting facts. I think for a very long time, we weren't necessarily able to scientifically quantify ADHD. Well, they were able to do that. And what they found was they tested around 3,242 people between the ages of 4 and 62, is that the brain structure in individuals with ADHD is different than those people without ADHD. So now we have an actual scientific verification of what people with ADHD are potentially dealing with. So it's not necessarily just, a neuropsychological disorder, but it's one that actually has brain structure. So what they would say is that there's a development delay in the brain as compared to those kids with ADHD. And these differences, by the way, are not related to other ones. So it's not a comorbid situation. Pretty much the differences in brain structure was only related to ADHD and not other things. So let's talk about this a little bit and really its effects on people. What we're seeing is that there's a delay in the brain development. Now, that doesn't mean that the brain doesn't eventually catch up. I think as individuals get older, the brain will mature and somewhat catch up. But at least in early people, there's definitely a delay in that. And so what this again tells us is now there's a scientific link to this disorder, as well as the as what we know through some of the testing. So some of the doubters and people that question this disorder now may have to rethink where they go with it. Interestingly enough, what they found is that the biggest area of deficit in development is in the area of the brain that controls emotional regulation. So that's why I think, professionally, I can say that a lot of the clients I see with ADHD are less mature than peers. And now, again, we've been able to quantify that through looking at brain development. So wanted to put that out there for you, give you some things to think about. Again, we'll look at the Lancet Psychiatry has said that there is a scientific and shown brain difference between people with ADHD and people without ADHD. And this effect comes again more in for younger people. As people get older, their brains apparently will develop and catch up a bit, but at least we now see that there is definitely a structural thing to ADHD. So want to put that out there, some food for thought, some things that you can think about with ADHD, sort of some somewhat breaking news. So I thought I would jump on this and get this information out to you. Let me give you my information one more time. Again, my name is Jonathan Carroll. I am at, you find me on the web at adhdguru.com. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. and send me an email to Jonathan, that's JONATHAN at ADHDEFcoach.com. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at ADHD Guru. If you're listening to this on the iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or TuneIn routes, if you can leave me some feedback, would be greatly appreciated. So I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching and listening.